welcome to Tabletops and Bottoms, the show where we talk about all things TTRPG, nerdy, and or gay. This episode, we're talking about fandom culture.
Yeah, fandoms and fandom culture. But more specifically, I think we'll be tackling all the stuff from, like, our Tumblr era days. But also, for the rest of you viewers out there who are used to watching us, we are actually not recording video this time. We are recording audio because we are in a car in Tucson.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alma, for driving. So first thing that I have on my list is, I'm also using this episode as an excuse to talk about Supernatural, the anime, or I guess specifically Supernatural, the cartoon, because I saw somebody who posted like a recent clip. Okay, not a recent clip, but it was a clip from like way back when it first aired, and it's like from the first season. I say they only made like one season of this anime, but still like the first season of it, and I was just like, I completely forgot about it. Like I forgot about it so much that like watching it just like slapped me in the face.
I never watched Supernatural, so I can't relate.
Damn. If any of you else out there watched Supernatural, the anime, Marisa's pointing at Alma, by the way, for any of you who are not.
Comments, carry on my wayward son. Nice.
Valid. Yeah.
So tell me about the anime, I guess.
Oh, what? Like, it wasn't good.
It wasn't good?
No, God, no. Of course it wasn't good. I feel like there's a reason it only lasted for like a season. But yeah, no, it wasn't good from what I remember. And I did actually, I think I actually have the DVD for it. It's either that or like I watched it like on YouTube with like parts like 1 through 20. Okay, the reason this entire thing got brought up is because when we were in Bookman's, I saw like a book by Terry Pratchett and it made me think of like Good Omens. And then obviously that spiraled me back into like the Good Omens fandom. And then obviously David Tennant, who's in it, which made me think of Doctor Who, which then brought me to this is a very long train of thought, but like it then brought me to like Super Hulock, and then it made me think of Supernatural and the Supernatural anime.
I see. So just a rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, just a full rabbit hole there.
Super Hulock always confused me. So weird.
I feel like it was the greatest and weirdest, like, fandom culture thing to emerge out of Tumblr. And it was also, like, the one thing that I feel like a lot of people agreed on because they were so easily, like, GIFable. Or GIFable for people who say GIF.
It's a GIF.
What?
It's not peanut butter. It's not GIF.
I have always pronounced it with like the soft G, which is why I keep saying, but I will also interchange it because at work I like tripping people up with the pronunciation.
No, I don't think that was the weirdest thing to come out of Tumblr.
Oh, what do you think it was?
The one slur.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Self-obsessed.
Yeah.
Risa, the Tangle, the Dragon.
Oh yeah.
That was. Brave was in there, wasn't she?
I don't know. Yeah, I definitely remember that now.
No, I think the one thing was still weirder.
I will agree with that one, actually. I forgot about it entirely. Like, I have seen so many cosplays.
Of the one?
And now every time, yeah, like a lot. And now every time I see somebody like putting on like a green glove, I'm like automatically triggered. Here's the problem: I did really enjoy the movie.
I did enjoy the movie. I watched it. I got it. I mean, what the fuck am I saying? I watched it high on Vicodin because I got my wisdom teeth out. With Nineveh, who was also high on Vicodin because she broke her ankle.
Oh my god! So you both were just like high as fuck when you were watching the one slayer. The one slayer. Damn.
Yeah, it was fun.
You're about to shut me.
Reminds me when you were telling me that y'all got like wine drunk and watched Cats.
Yeah, and then she threw up.
Amazing.
But then I was drunk, and then her brother made me watch The Joker, and that was... I did not enjoy it.
Damn.
I wish I was passed out like you were. For that.
Damn. Okay, question, because we like severely veered off topic here. Maybe a question for Alma, maybe? Huh? Listen, you're here. You got roped into this already. You're a captive audience by default.
Yeah, I sure am.
Did you ever like source your fan fiction on Tumblr?
Source it?
Yeah, okay, so here's what I mean. So I'm in some really, really small fandoms.
Huh.
Like, for example, the Thrilling Adventure Hour is like such a small fandom, there's like barely anything that exists. And this was like pre me knowing about like AO3.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's, yeah, before I figured out that AO3 was a thing, I used to go on Tumblr and like sometimes people would post their fan fictions there, right?
Oh.
So I would literally read them like on Tumblr, and I would have to like hope and pray that I would like re-find it again.
Oh. No, I was a live journal girly, so I never relied on Tumblr for fic. Fortunately for me, I guess.
That's fair.
It was like live journal, then it was fanfiction.net, and then it was AO3, so.
Ooh, I remember the days of like live journal. I definitely split my time between reading from like LiveJournal and fanfiction.net, but like very specifically, they were all like Naruto fanfiction.
That's Sasanoru.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. Actually, there was a lot of really, really weird shit. Like, okay, I'm speaking from experience as somebody who started writing fanfiction when I was like 11 years old.
Oh, gee.
Okay, this is before I knew that what fanfiction actually was, right? And then I figured out that I could post them online. And I was 11 when I posted my first one, and it was about NCIS.
Wow.
I know.
11 and posting NCIS.
I know.
You don't even know what the legal system is.
I really did. Everything I learned was like from watching NCIS or like Criminal Minds and like CSI.
Wow.
Those were like my fandoms as like a literal child.
Well, that's for you.
Yeah, I wrote a lot of NCIS fanfiction, and like I learned a lot. Okay, I learned a lot about things that I should not have from fanfiction.
Such as, elaborate.
For example, the citrus scale, I became fully aware of that one was on fanfiction.
Lemons and
After
limes, huh?
accidentally stumbling onto quite a few.
So many lemons.
Very many lemons. And I got confused about it. I never bothered to like Google what it was, right? Because I was just like, okay, this is just a thing.
Would people have known at that
And
point?
no, I really didn't. But then I figured out, oh, lemons usually mean sex.
Yeah.
So then, like at some point during my formative years, I did figure out how to search them out.
Right.
I'm not telling myself right now.
Everyone's done this, Kennedy.
Yeah, that's also true.
Normal. This is puberty.
Honestly, yeah. And then from there, it was like figuring out like what doujinshi was.
Yeah.
Wild bit of lore about me. It was one that my friend sent to me because someone had posted it on YouTube, and it was a Death Note doujinshi.
Bad taste, Kennedy.
Listen, it was Matt and Nello, and I believe listen, I believe it was called Pink Sniper. I'm 100% sure that's what it was.
Someone out there is having a very intense flashback.
Honestly. Yeah, so that was my experience with like very early fandom, I think.
So that's nice. That's quaint.
Yeah. How about you?
I started off in Inuyasha Land.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yosha was a good one.
It was a good one. I didn't like finding people that thought that Inuyasha and Shomuru should kiss, and I was like, no, I don't like that. And then like 5 years later, it was the Dean and Sam people, and I was like, oh no, I don't like this either. It just, why is it so prevalent?
There's a lot of really weird incest shippers out there, and it bothers the fuck out of me. Like when I first discovered the world of, like, first discovered the world of incest, I guess, he was definitely through Supernatural.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always wonder. It's like, do these people have siblings?
I really hope
That's
not.
really concerning.
I really hope not.
Yeah.
Because I had a friend. In this friend's defense, she was an only child. It's not a week. It's not a very weak friend. No. That's fair. But she really, really liked Vampire Night.
Oh!
And she really committed to Vampire Night. Like, she, even when the whole incest line came out, like, she was still for it, and I was like, girl, what's his face? I forgot his name. He's white hair individual, you know, Zero. Yeah, that guy, Zero.
Zero and, like, Taylor Lautner's Jacob, they're, like, that same flavor of, neither of you are good for each other, but you're the better option.
Yeah.
Until you aren't.
Honestly, yeah. I will say, I did pretend to go through a whole Twilight phase.
You pretended?
I pretended because I wasn't actually into Twilight. But, like, I felt FOMO from, like, people being like Team Edward or Team Jacob. And so, I was Team Jacob because I was like, he seems like the better option.
Yeah. If I had to pick a man, Jacob. I went to Forks.
Please tell us about this experience.
It was before Twilight was really big. So we went, and there was nothing there.
Yeah.
And then I still have it. I have a sticker, and it was like a license plate, a Washington license plate, but it just says Forks on it. It was a nice drive because you have to drive through a rainforest to get up there. But now I heard that there's like a bunch of tours and crap, and they take you to like Bella's house and to some of the other like sets in town or whatever. But yeah, when I went there, we got there, and there was nothing. And my aunt was like, "Why do you want to go to Forks?" Like she was very confused. But yeah, overall, pretty good trip.
Honestly, shout out to her though for like driving you all the way there.
Oh no, she didn't drive me. My parents drove me.
Shout out to your parents for driving you all the way.
They wanted to go to the rainforest, so win-win.
Alright, hell yeah. What's your first experience though with fandom, Marisa?
Well, probably was Harry Potter.
I think a lot of people's first was like Harry Potter.
I mean, that's like the first big book series that I was into. I mean, I started reading in second grade. It just kept up with it. But yeah, RP J.K. Rowling, sorry, you suck. RIP her dignity. Her humanity. She sucks now. Naruto, of course. I mean, I went to my first con when I was in middle school.
Oh god.
So,
Did you cosplay?
yeah, L from Death Note. Which also I did not finish Death Note. And then I also cosplayed Light from Death Note. Again, I did not finish Death Note.
Okay, random question.
Uh-huh.
Are there any fandoms that you kind of like regret being a part of?
If you do it right, you don't have to interact with people that are annoying. You just select your small group of people that aren't fucking weirdos. And then you just have a nice time all the time. And then you don't have to regret. And you just use the block button liberally.
That's also valid. That's very valid.
Cater your own experience.
I had to do that during my Attack on Titan phase. I'm gonna say right now. Back then, though, back before I thought it was like actually okay, and then there became like the whole. Okay, this was before like all the like Nazi shit started coming out. So even before then, it was really weird. But I remember there was this huge discourse about shipping in that fandom.
There's always
And-
discourse about shipping. What do you?
Oh, of course, there's always discourse about shipping, but this one in particular really weirded me out because, like, unprompted, somebody like came into my comment. Okay, not even my comment section, because like she was somebody that I'd just been talking to, and I just casually mentioned that like I was reading a fan fiction about the ship that I enjoy. I'm gonna tell on myself here. It was Levi and Aaron. Aaron, is that like the blonde guy's name? I don't remember anymore.
Aaron is the child.
Not that one. Who's the blonde one? Like, not the blonde child. Like the blonde, like
Grown adult man.
grown adult one.
I don't know. You don't.
Whatever his name is. Like, I shipped the two of them, and then she got really mad at me and started defending like Levi and like the child one, which is Aaron. Aaron, right? Yeah. That one? Yeah, that one. And I was like, I didn't ask for this. I didn't say that, right? But she just kept going on for paragraphs and like completely unprompted too. And I was like, okay. We stopped talking after that.
Okay.
Because I was like, I don't know how to respond to you because I didn't ask. I was just telling you what I was currently reading as a fan fiction. Yeah, that's why we don't talk anymore.
You.
But also, I feel like I'm not as much in fandom as you two are. Because you actually make content for things.
Yeah, that's fair.
I lurk. I don't make friends, I just lurk.
I have made some friends on. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I've made some friends on like that's not true. I've made friends on like AO3 and like Tumblr. But AO3 honestly is where it's at when I make friends. Me too! Yeah, that's how we met. Alright. Oh, very nice, very nice. They told me Tumblr. Well, it was like, okay, I can afford it. You know, you link it, you're just like, find me on Tumblr, and then, yeah, it's true.
Find each other and oh yeah, I guess it did start on Tumblr because I was commenting on their art, and then I wrote something, and then they realized it was me, and then they commented back. Okay, that's how it started. They were right.
Damn, honestly, love that friendship. Yeah, all of mine started because they were like people who would like read my fanfiction, and then we just ended up talking about, okay, my biggest fandom that I wrote for was Detroit Become Human.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I wrote a lot.
Marcus.
Oh, yeah, it was Marcus and Simon. I wrote a lot with
That
that.
little blonde bitch that dies.
He doesn't have to die.
Oh, he always dies.
Yeah, you kill him every time. He didn't die once in my playthrough.
I'm like, you're okay. You can go.
Damn,
I'm sorry. Okay, but yeah, I do. It's more tragic that way. It doesn't
I mean, that's
matter.
fair, but like, damn.
Okay, sorry, go on. Simon Marcus, yes.
But also, it's how I met my last partner. And we were friends for like a couple of years before we started dating. But it was literally because I was running, right? Like Marcus and Simon fanfiction.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Probably like the weirdest, funnest relationship I've ever had, though, honestly.
Nice.
I mean, same with the friends that I have met online. Because, like, I don't make online friends very easily because, like, that's not my forte. But for some reason with fanfiction, very easy. Very easy. But I've also read, like, a lot of disturbing ones where, like, it stops being good after a certain point because I feel like the author, like, kind of starts losing the point a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But then by that point, I'm like too deep in that if I stop commenting, it feels like an abandonment. I don't know if you've ever had that experience, but that happened to me like more times than I care to admit. One of them was like a trolls. Like, listen.
I'm not judging. I just giggled.
it started with like 10 chapters, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then it continued, and they're like on 40 chapters now, still going, by the way.
I'm sorry. I have to ask. You know how there's like canon and there's fanon. What's the fanon of trolls? Like what are the problematic stereotypes? The shoehorning people into different. You know what I mean?
Okay, so like the problem with fanon in the trolls fandom specifically, okay. I will say the trolls fandom specifically, but the fan fiction writers, I will say, not necessarily the ones who draw art. Because while a lot of them make the trolls into furries, I don't generally have a problem with that. My problem comes in fan fiction when, spoilers if you haven't seen the third movie, but they really like to ship the brothers, and I don't like that. Or this is the wild one to me, they like to make one of the brothers Branch's parent. And I have seen this where John Dory, who's the eldest brother, by the way, I've seen multiple fanfictions where he's like secretly like the parent of the rest of the brothers.
Oh, I thought you meant like father figure. I was like, is it
No,
like
he has eggs, like straight up like
eggs?
yeah.
Do they have eyes? I don't want to finish that thought. I don't want to finish that thought.
So I've seen multiple ones where he's not only the father, like he is the father of all of them, or he's the father of Branch specifically, or the other unhinged one that I have seen is that Floyd is Branch's like father.
I forgot that they do canonically have eggs because the glittery baby.
Tiny diamond, hatched from an egg.
I don't like.
That made me think of the Looney Tunes movie.
Oh,
Do you know how hard it is for a male duck to lay eggs?
Confirmed. Trans.
But yeah, I will say that is like by far the most interesting thing about the Trolls fan fiction fandom. There's a lot of really weird obsessions though with like, actually I don't want to say weird because it's probably valid for these writers who I assume are younger than like 16. They really like what are they? Betty Spaghetti Plants?
Yeah.
Velvet Veneer. I love them. There's a lot of people who really like them. I've seen people shipping them, and I'm like, oh. Listen, there's like a lot of like really weird incest in the Trolls fandom, and I'm like, somebody needs to like sense of the episode. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. If you liked what you heard from us today and you want to hear us talk some more, leave a comment. Let us know. You can always find us right here on YouTube or on Spotify. And if you'd like to support us in a more personal manner, please consider donating to our Ko-fi. Bye! Oh, bye!